Psychopathy is a disorder of human behavior that is characterized by a lack of empathy and remorse with an increased propensity for violence. It has been referred to as a personality disorder, although there is no specifically agreed upon definition of what constitutes a psychopath. People who suffer from psychopathy also tend to have an inflated sense of self-worth, superficial charm, aggressiveness, manipulative behavior, and a disregard for social norms and morality. They often have the ability to appear calm and collected, but underneath this facade lies a set of strange behaviors that can manifest in their everyday life. In this video, we are going to present you with 7 strange behaviors of psychopaths that will blow your mind. Number 1. Manipulative nature. Psychopaths are known to be manipulative individuals who gain control in relationships and situations. It's one of their strange behaviors that they use to get what they want. They will often use mental manipulation such as lying, cheating, and deception to achieve their desired goals. They are masterful at reading people and analyzing their behavior so they can misdirect or make their victims think a certain way. Even if the person is aware of what is happening, they are unable to avoid it with the psychopath's masterful control. These individuals can adapt to any kind of situation and manipulate it to their advantage. Furthermore, psychopaths are able to cleverly twist the truth to fit their own narrative and make it seem like what they're saying is true and honest. All of these odd behaviors together make manipulative psychopaths very dangerous when in a social setting or relationship. Number 2. Lack of remorse. Psychopaths demonstrate a complete absence of remorse or guilt for their actions. They lack even the slightest bit of empathy for the victims of their callous deeds, viewing expressions of remorse or guilt as weaknesses that might land them in a position of disadvantage. They are unable to reconcile their actions with a societal version of morality or understanding of normal behavior. They may indeed experience some degree of shame or disgust after committing a particularly heinous act, but this is more likely to stem from being caught rather than from an internal sense of wrongdoing. It is essential to note that psychopaths are not always outright malicious. Instead, they are capable of and quite often engage in behavior that is manipulative, self-serving, and even socially acceptable. Through a combination of charm, charisma, and grandiose self-perception, psychopaths are able to use and get what they want from others, often leaving their victims feeling confused and violated. Number 3. Impulsive behavior. One strange behavior common among psychopaths is impulsive behavior. This often manifests itself in unpredictable and reckless decisions, which can result in dangerous and damaging outcomes. Impulsive behavior often leads to a life in which the consequences of one's actions carry greater weight than their meaning or value. This means that psychopaths may not be able to distinguish between actions driven by intrinsic motivation and those directed by external incentives or punishment. As a result, psychopaths may act impulsively and dangerously in order to gain short-term benefits, often ignoring the long-term consequences of their actions. Impulsive behavior is also linked to other symptoms of psychopathy, such as an increased disregard for social conventions and decreased impulse control. As a result of their impulsiveness, psychopaths may put themselves and others in grave danger through their lack of understanding of the consequences of their choices. This behavior can manifest in violent and aggressive behavior, sexual promiscuity, substance abuse, and financial recklessness. Number 4. Superficial charm. Psychopaths are known for having a lack of regard for societal conventions, but there is another behavior they possess that many people might not realize. This behavior is known as superficial charm. What this means is that the psychopath can seem to be very personable and charming in conversations. They may come across as having a unique charisma that makes them seem credible and likable to those around them. This type of charm can be used to manipulate and coerce unsuspecting individuals for their own selfish needs. Superficial charm can be used by psychopaths to mask their underlying negative traits and convince others that they can be trusted. This is a classic tactic of this type of individual, as it helps them to gain and exploit power. This dangerous behavior should be noted, however, as it can lead to serious physical, mental, and financial consequences for those who become trusting victims of the psychopath's manipulation. Number 5. Lack of empathy. Psychopaths are usually characterized by their lack of empathy, poor impulse control, and inability to understand the consequences of their actions. This lack of empathy and lack of understanding of the consequences of their actions often leads to strange behaviors. One of the strangest behaviors of psychopaths is their lack of empathy. They are unable to feel or understand how others feel in difficult situations, and lack the capacity to view the world from someone else's perspective. This lack of empathy means that they are unable to understand the ethical consequences of their actions and do not feel guilty when they hurt or deceive someone else. People with psychopathic tendencies also often report feeling empty, despite engaging in activities that other people would consider pleasurable or entertaining. Therefore, it is unsurprising they weirdly lack empathy and lack the capacity to understand the feelings of others. Number 6. Paranoid thoughts. One of the strange behaviors of psychopaths is paranoid thoughts. This means that psychopath often has an overestimated belief of the danger present in their environment, and this can lead to the person being very suspicious and distrustful of others around them. This paranoid thinking can even lead the psychopath to seemingly irrational beliefs that people or groups are out to get them or are conspiring against them. As a result, psychopaths may become isolated and attempt to keep their distance from cognitive dissonance with their environment and those around them, constantly befuddled by their own paranoid thoughts. The state of fear and anxiety can become so pervasive that the individual won't accept the help of others or authority figures. Many times, these types of paranoid thinking and behaviors can lead to social withdrawal, difficulty functioning, and even dangerous actions by the psychopath, such as lashing out or attacking perceived threats. Number 7. Increased risk-taking. Psychopaths are known for their sudden impulsivity, unusual risk-taking, and thrill-seeking behaviors, which ultimately lead to an increased vulnerability to dangerous situations. This behavior can be unsettling for those who may view it as careless and unwarranted. The reality, however, is that increased risk-taking is actually a defining characteristic of those who may possess psychopathic tendencies. Psychopaths often act with little regard for the consequences or safety of their own self or others, and this recklessness can present itself in the form of risky behaviors and decisions. This isn't to say that everyone who takes risks is a psychopath, of course, but rather that there are certain people who find satisfaction in the thrill of engaging in activities that may put themselves or others at risk. In essence, risk-taking behavior is an indicator of psychopathy. Not only do psychopaths fail to recognize the danger of risk-taking, they actively seek it out and find discomfort when it is absent from their lives or when their risk-taking fantasies are not fulfilled. Psychopathy is an intriguing disorder and, to date, science still does not fully understand the underlying causes that trigger psychopathic behaviors. The 7 strange behaviors that can be observed in psychopaths, as outlined in this video, can help us recognize the key characteristics of the disorder and arm us with a better understanding of how to act and respond to these individuals. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to stay tuned to such factful content. Thanks for watching.